Aloha mai kākou, e komo mai curtain call, a weekly program of reviews, previews, interviews, and features of and or with the great art and artists on Maui and beyond. I'm Paul James Brown. King Kekaulike Drama is presenting a huge production of Disney's high school musical On Stage, which is based on the Disney Channel original movie under the indefatigable direction of the head of drama at the Upcountry High School, Chris Kepler, who was ably assisted by King K alum Rachel Simmons. This production featured 51 students on stage, a tech crew of 14, plus an 8-member student and professional pit band. Like I said, huge. From the opening Wildcat cheer to the closing, we're all in this together. It is nonstop singing and dancing with a paucity of dialogue for two 60-minute acts. The story is about a young man, Troy Bolton, played by Cannon Birch, whose father is the coach of the East High School basketball team, Kaiko Ferreira. He wants his son to do something he could not: win a basketball championship. However, during a holiday trip, he has met a lovely young woman, Gabriela Montez, Rachel Kepler, and discovered during a karaoke duet with her not only a voice he never knew he had, but he thinks the love of his life. There are three main cliques in this school: the jocks, the brainiacs, and the thespians. The jocks want to be led to victory by Troy. Gabriella serendipitously has moved to Albuquerque and is the new kid at school. Think Mean Girls. She has a joyous and fleeting reunion with Troy, who is being openly pursued by Sharpay, Betty Russo, the head of the thespians. Gabriella is embraced by the brainiacs. When she demonstrates her academic prowess in class, they pressure her to join their scholastic decathlon, which they have never won. In the meantime, the thespians, Ms. Darbus, Faith Harriman, has announced auditions for the upcoming musical version of Shakespeare's most famous love story, Romeo and Juliet. But this one has been written by a student, Kelsey Nielsen, Isabella Collins, and it is called Juliet and Romeo. Sharpay and her brother Ryan, Mello Heinrich, assume they will get the parts, but Gabriella and Troy decide they are going to audition. Well, that causes all kinds of drama only young people are capable of. Will Gabriella and Troy get called back? Will Sharpay get her man? Will East High win its first scholastic and basketball championships? Will Gabriella and Troy make it? Will the play go on? Oy vey. Get tickets if you can. Opening night was sold out. To find the answers and to experience this wonderful night at the theater. For the first time, they have pre-sale from 2 to 3 p.m. Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday, and as usual, 45 minutes before each show. The final 3 performances are Friday and Saturday at 7 and Sunday at 3. All 4 leads, Master Birch, Ms. Kepler, Ms. Russo, and they Heinrich, are all seniors, and this is their final show of their illustrious high school careers. It will be interesting to see who among the huge stable of actors Mr. Kepler has will be stepping up to fill their rather large shoes. I have watched Rachel Kepler since she was in middle school, and she has distinguished herself every time she has stepped on stage. She is both an accomplished actor and singer. There is a maturity in her performance that belies her years. I could attribute it to good genes. Both her dad, Chris Kepler, and grandpa, Bill Kepler, have been stars of Maui stages in their own right. But that would be taking away from the talent and hard work this young woman has put into every show she has done. Her Gabriela Montez has beautiful moments when she is conflicted, confused, and determined. Her singing is heartfelt and honest. Every number she is in is as good as it can be. But the one that really got me was the duet with Troy in the opening of the second act. This scene has the most dialogue in the entire play, and it features the best song in this show that has lots of music, I Can't Take My Eyes Off of You. The connection between the two was undeniable. The sparks were flying. Cannon Birch's Troy is a great swan song to an outstanding high school stage career. He has demonstrated an admirable range, and with his matinee idol good looks, he could go a long way. His Troy showed us the pain of disappointing a parent and the pressure of being the one others depend on while trying to be true to yourself. A complex and difficult character he pulled off admirably. Betty Russo's Sharpay is the other star of this show. As understated as Ms. Kepler was both in demeanor and costume, she is the other end of the spectrum. From her sparkly heels to her platinum blonde tresses, she revels in and expects the spotlight. And she deserves it. Every time she was on stage, and since she is the foil in this show, it was a lot, all of her songs were terrific. But her duets with her brother, Ryan Mello Heinrich, were showstoppers. Then we come to Mello Heinrich's Ryan. Here is another actor who distinguished themselves every time they step on stage. Their Ryan is such a fun character who, unlike their sister Sharpay, hasn't a conniving bone in their body. Terrific singer, dancer, actor, and comic. A real quadruple threat. They will be missed. One of the most fun characters is the school announcer,
Jack Scott,
played by Bill Richards on opening night. But you will see Sidon Smith. This character provides background and furthers the plot in a most humorous manner. The entire cast was outstanding. Others who distinguished themselves are Jackson Barkis's Zeke, who showed off some nice pipes in Cellular Fusion, and was a puppy-like suitor of Sharpay. Ethan Bice's Chad, who encouraged Troy and does very nice work in We're All in This Together. Isabella Collins Kelsey, the composer and playwright, who supports and encourages Troy and Gabriella most convincingly. Jessa Hines, Taylor, who leads the Brainiacs, and Kaiku Ferreira's overbearing Coach Bolton. The choreography by Mr. Kepler and Ms. Simmons was so well done, it appeared like every cast member was on stage for the entire of the show. The pictures they created worked perfectly, and everyone on stage knew who they were and what they were doing every moment. They were engaged, involved, and no one seemed to be in the background. There must be at least 3 or 4 Casey Nagatas on the island. He conducted this band while he played in the Maui Pops and led the amazing spring concert they had with Chad Lefkowitz Brown and the Na'i'i Big Band at the Castle Theater, and he is a teacher as well. Kudos to the band. Beth Phoebe Wills, keyboard, Perry Grigas, drums, Eric Deal, bass, Rusty Higa and Prembrosio, guitars, and Jacob Gamble and Max Jackson on percussion. I hope other high school musicals will take their example and perform with live musicians rather than tracks. It's the difference between a real musical and karaoke. The cast costumed themselves and the characters they created were quite something. And Ms. Russo's outfits were what a star would wear. Amazing. Tia Ampog gets special credit for the jock jerseys. Disney's High School Musical on stage is better than the series. It is more taut and the story is not as convoluted. There is a moment in the second act where the entire cast is singing We're All in This Together when you think the show is over. It is a beautiful, quiet, contemplative moment. It should have ended right there. Everything after that feels tacked on, as if the playwright and songwriters, there are 10, were furiously trying to tie up the show in a bow. It felt like you were dashing down the steps on 42nd Street as the doors of the A train were closing. It missed. The show continues this Friday and Saturday at 7 and Sunday at 3. Tickets are available Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday at the box office of the Performing Arts Center from 2 to 3 p.m. and 45 minutes before curtain. Go and support this wonderful group of remarkably hardworking young people and their dedicated directors. Incidentally, Mr. Kepler mentioned this show cost $12,000. You may want to bring your checkbooks and make a donation to King Kekaulike Drama. Well, that's Curtain Call for this week. Mahalo for tuning in. I'm Paul James Brown. Maui strong. Ahui ho.